Welcome back to Noseball. Today we're gonna do will these players make the Hall of Fame? We're gonna do current players straight up, and I'm gonna show you the categories and everything. But before we get there, make sure you subscribe. Go subscribe to my game channel as well, which will be in the description. Follow all my socials and everything. We make posts, we make videos over there. Also follow my other channel, Hoops All In with the Worlds. We do weekly stuff over there. And we've got some cool stuff planned for this week. But make sure you guys go subscribe. But without further ado, let's get into the Hall of Fame tier list. All right, here we go. So for this is what we got. We got no doubt they will be in the Hall of Fame. These are for locks. These are for guys like, you know, oh, I don't know. How about Mr. LeBron James? Then we've got a category of if they stay on this trajectory, which is maybe a young player or a guy that he's accomplished a lot, but maybe he's not a lock yet. Like he's not in there, no doubt yet, but he probably will be. Then we've got Hall of Very Good. If you know what this is, then I'm sure a lot of people know what this is, but a lot of players go in this category when they are, really good players. They guys maybe that wouldn't make the real Hall of Fame, but they make the Hall of Very Good. I don't know how often we'll use that, but there might be a few cases. We've got it has to show more. Where as of right now, I don't see a way that they make it unless they show more, and then Nah is just like they're not making it. Like Aaron Gordon's not making the Hall of Fame. We're not going to do all these players. I think it's like 70 players, but like there are some players that we could tell. Like Aaron Gordon's already an older guy. Whatever. I've got Basketball Reference just in case for any of these things pulled up. But I'm gonna get into we'll just go. So Alperen Sengun, as of right now, he would need to show more. There's nothing that tells me that he will be um in the Hall of Fame right now. So he has to show more. Anthony Davis is a Hall of Famer, whether you like it or not. Anthony Davis is no doubt a Hall of Famer in my mind. It's kind of crazy that he won't be, that he won't have a Defensive Player of the Year. Anthony Davis will never get a Defensive Player of the Year because Rudy Gobert won a bunch during his prime. Now we've got Vic, and then some other players have won it, like Jaron, Marcus Smart, things like that. But Anthony Davis to me is no doubt a Hall of Famer. Anthony Edwards is our first if they stay on this trajectory. Obviously, not right now. If he retired, he is not a Hall of Famer. But I actually might make another tier. So hold on a second. All right, I made my other tier. It's called They Will Be, where like Anthony Edwards. See, but I don't see even now that I do that. Like Anthony Edwards, I can't say that he necessarily will be, but he probably will be. He could be, and they will be. It's hard to say what it is, but like young guy, if they stay on their trajectory, Anthony Davis, he will be a Hall of Famer. He's not in no doubt because that's for very few players in the league, but they will be. I think is something else I should have done. Bam Adebayo might be a Hall of Very Good guy, honestly. Because Bam, I don't think he's ever going to win a Defensive Player of the Year either, unless we have a crazy injury year. What is hold on? What is Bam's career? Bam is a 3-time All Star, 5-time All Defensive. I think Bam might fall into a Hall of Very Good situation. So I'm gonna leave that there. Bradley Beal, not gonna be a Hall of Famer. I don't think. He might be another Hall of Very Good type of guy, but this video might be longer than I thought. If I'm going to this dude, like 3-time All Star, 1-time All NBA. He averaged 30 points per game in 2 different seasons. One season he wasn't even an All Star, which is crazy. But he might be like a Hall of Very. I mean, he's averaged 20 or more points in one, two, three, four, five, six, seven seasons in a row. He might be a Hall of Very Good kind of a guy. Um, and this is not like if you know the Instagram account, if you know the whatever, they do it based on voting. Like obviously it's a joke, but like it's a thing some people take seriously. I'm not saying they should be in this, but I think out of these tiers, I think those are where those players will go. There might be a lot of players in Hall of Very Good, but Brandon Ingram though, I don't think will do it. Brandon Ingram would have to show more, I think, or just although I don't know what else he can show. I don't Brandon Ingram, I'm gonna say no. Obviously, Brandon Miller would have to show more. Cade probably has to show more because I can't say if he stays on this trajectory. But if he does stay on this trajectory, I mean, he was an All NBA, All Stars in this. This is his fourth season. Maybe I guess if he stays on this trajectory, he'll be a. He probably could be Chet. Oh wow, Chet has to show more. I think. Um, Kobe White, no. Damian Lillard will be a Hall of Famer. Darius Garland, I don't think it's I don't think there's anything else that really Darius Garland could do. I mean, he's a two-time All-Star. He's going into his seventh season. Career averages of 19 and 6. I don't think so. I don't want to just give this to anywhere. All right. The Hall of Fame is a very, like sure, there are a lot of people in it, but um it's a very right, like it's a Hall of Fame for a reason. De'Aaron Fox has to show more for me. He might be a Hall of Very Good type of guy, but he's got to show more for me. DeJounte Murray, nah, I don't think so. DeRozan. See, DeRozan is one of those guys that like is DeRozan making the Hall of Fame? DeRozan has scored. I believe he's one of the few current players who's scored over 20,000 career points. He scored. He scored 25,000 career points. He's been a 6-time All Star, 3-time All NBA, but that's it. That's a hard one. I'm gonna come back to that. Derek White's no, not going to. Desmond Bain might be like a Hall of Very Good type of guy. But those are hard ones to do. Devin Booker, if he stays on this trajectory, Devin Booker will be a Hall of Famer. Sabonis. Oh my gosh. I don't think Sabonis is a Hall of Famer, but I don't know if if he's this type of like okay, I'm gonna put Sabonis and Garland near the front because like those are guys we might have to check back on. I might make an area where it's like come back to these players. Because this is hard already. All right. So I just made a comeback to section. So like anyone I'm having a hard time with, even though I think Sabonis is a no, but whatever. Donovan Mitchell, if they stay on a similar category of Devin Booker right now. Draymond Green will be a Hall of Famer. No. I mean, no, I'm not putting Dyson Daniels in there. Evan Mobley would have to show more, I think. Franz has to show more. Fred, no. Giannis is no doubt. He's making the Hall of Fame. He's already a top 20, 25 player of all time. All right, let's see. Jalen Brunson. Wow. Jalen Brunson's hard because, right, like his glow up just sort of happened a couple years ago. He's a 2-time All Star, 2-time All NBA, but he's 29. He's about to be 29 in like 2 weeks. That's hard because, like, you look at his first 4 season, like 9 points, 8 points, 12 points, 16 points. And then he got to New York in 24, 29, 26, and everything he's done. He's probably if they stay on this trajectory kind of guy. He's similar ages of Booker and Mitchell. J-Dub has to show more. He's in a similar boat with his teammate. I think he's a little more further on than Chet, but he would have to show more. Jamal Murray, Hall of Very Good type guy. Harden is Harden is no doubt a Hall of Famer. So I'm going to put him in no doubt. Ja Morant has to show more. I think both the Grizzlies guys do. But it depends. Like if Ja stays on this trajectory, he probably will be. Same with Jaylen Brown. Because he's that's hard. I think, yeah, if they stay on this trajectory, Jason Tatum will be a Hall of Famer. He's similar to these guys that if they stay on this trajectory, but he's done a lot more than anyone here. Maybe not like Devin. Devin Booker's done a lot too, but he's done more than these guys. I'm not even going to say anything about it. Drew Holiday is such a hard thing. I'm gonna put Drew and Jimmy in here for now because we'll have to come back to these guys. Julius Randle might be like a Hall of Very Good guy. Cat. I'm kind of just placing players and then I will go back and check. Cat, bro. Cat is so hard to determine. Let's see. So Karl Anthony Towns career. 5-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA. 14,000 points. He's already got 1,000 3-pointers made. Wow, that's a hard one too. I don't want to have this come back to be so long, but like Kawhi will be a Hall of Famer. Again, some of these tiers you guys might see of like the same thing. Like they will be versus no doubt. How is Kawhi not no doubt? How, whatever. But like no doubt is like there's 100%. These guys like Draymond, I think is like probably would be like 85% a lot of people's eyes. Dame might be 90, AD might be 95. Same with Kawhi. Like there's a tiny percent chance. These guys, there's no way they're not Hall of Famers to me. I mean, Harden maybe you see down here, so maybe I'll put him there for now. But Kevin Durant, no doubt. Kyrie Irving will be a Hall of Famer. LaMelo's got to show more. I'm not putting him in the other area of those young stars if they stay on this trajectory. Luka will be a Hall of Famer. Nikola Jokic, no doubt. Paolo Banchero, probably if he stays on this trajectory. Siakam, we'd have to come back to. Paul George. I'm just going to put the players I want to think about in here. Shea, if he stays on this trajectory. Although Finals MVP scoring, he's probably up here, if we're being honest. Steph, Steph is not somebody I need to. Okay, I can't get him up there. Trae Young will come back to. Halliburton, we can come back to. Maxey, Vic, Zion. So basically, these guys I'm saying no to. Like these guys I would say, are probably all no's. I mean, Porzingis might be like a Hall of Very Good like guy too, but all right, I'm going to delete this row. So now this is what we're gonna think about. So no doubt Hall of Famers. These guys I think are the 5 greatest current players in the league right now, right? Like, I think these guys are all top 20, top 25 all time, these five. So, no doubt, this is a lock how this is right now. Who do we – so, Joel Embiid. I've always said that Joel Embiid, if he was to retire right now, which he very well might be doing, by the way, him and Derrick Rose, I think, would be the only two MVPs I wouldn't put in the Hall of Fame. But they're MVPs, so they might just be in the Hall of Fame. But he's a 7-time All-Star, 2-time scoring champ, 5-time All-NBA, all rookie, 3-time All-Defensive, and an MVP. Career averages of 28 and 11. Oh, God. Joel Embiid will be a Hall of Famer. Oh, my God. Okay. Maxey has to show more. Sabonis has to show more. Same with Garland. He's got to show more. Drew Holiday might be like well, I got to come back to that. Paul George probably. Wow. It's Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is going to be a Hall of Famer, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. Go Rudy Gobert. Let's bring it up. So he's a 3-time All-Star, 1-time block champ, 8-time All-Defensive, 1-time rebounding champ, 4-time All-NBA, 4-time DPOY. There are players in the Hall of Fame with less than that. Rudy Gobert will be a Hall of Famer. Trae Young, if he stays on this trajectory, he will be a Hall of Famer. Zach LaVine might be another Hall of Very Good type guy. Like, for what I have here, wow, that's so hard to determine, man. All right, Zion has to show more. Vic, I mean, if he stays on this trajectory, he will be up there. But these top 4 right here are so hard to gauge, bro. Because I really think there's a world where they might all be Hall of Famers. Drew Holiday might be the hardest one to gauge, but I think these guys are all gonna be not him. These guys are all gonna be Hall of Famers probably. Jimmy and Paul George, though, is like, wow. Because all these guys are at the decline of their career. We can all agree, like Drew, Paul George, Jimmy, and DeRozan. And they're all getting worse. I don't care what you say. They're all getting worse. They're all getting old. So I can't put them in if they stay on this trajectory, they will be. But Hall of Very Good, they're better. All 4 of those guys are better than these guys all time. So they probably will be. But these 4, we got to keep an eye on. Cat, if he stays on this trajectory, he probably will be. Siakam might be a Hall of Very Good player. I got to check Halliburton's stats before I go do my recheck, but his career averages 17 and 9. He's a 2-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA, 1-time assist champ. Am I crazy for putting Tyrese and he has to show more? Some people might have him in I think both the Pacers has to show more for me. But what if one of you comments, right, and truly believes, what would make Trae Young a Hall of Famer if he stays on the trajectory versus Tyrese Halliburton? I don't know if I could answer that. Because so Trae Young is a 4-time All-Star, 1-time All-NBA, 1-time assist champ as well. Career averages are way better with 25 points and 10 assists. I mean, he's also averaged 30, 29, 28, 26, 25. He's just way better offensively, I think. I don't know. I'm going to check this one more time, and then I will. I don't think there were any edits I had to make. I truly think this is what I believe. So basically, everybody in the bottom section, the bottom section right here, with like Derek White, Zubat, like all those, I'm saying as no's. Like I don't think there's any way any of those guys will be Hall of Famers unless sure one of them somehow wins an MVP or wins 3 scoring title, whatever. Also has to show more is also no as of right now. No, none of those players to me would make the Hall of Fame. They all need to show more. They are all relatively young. Not Sabonis, I guess. Um, they're all relatively young, but yeah, Hall of Very Good. I think are guys that like. It's so hard, like because some of those guys have made All Star. Bam's made All Stars. Bradley Beal's made All Stars. Randall, Porzingis, Levine, all those guys have made an All Star before, except for Jamal Murray. It's just Halliburton. Halliburton's might be the hardest one to gauge, if I'm being honest. But I think I'm gonna leave him there for now, right? Or do I just put him in has to show more? Because has to show more is a no for right now. But like all those other guys are all right. I'm putting Halliburton as has to show more. He's still young enough, but he is number one for has to show more for me. It's not saying that this is worse than this. I'm just saying these are no's for right now. These are guys that are no's as well, but I think these guys have a little bit more than these guys, and obviously these guys down low. And then we've got if they stay on this trajectory, which is basically a lot of guys. I think everyone there is under 30 years old, and some of those guys are like 30 or fourth year, fifth year, sixth year players, right? Where they've started to get their all stars, but maybe not a lot of them are in their the prime of their careers yet. Like, sure, Brunson, Booker is, but like Anthony Edwards might be a 30-point per game scorer next year. Cade might be a double guy next year. Paolo might turn to a top 12 player. Vic might be a top 10 player. They're like, so those are guys that like, if they keep doing what they're doing, those guys in that row will be Hall of Famers. And then we've got they will be where like all these guys I think they will be Hall of Famers with the trajectory that their career has gone and how it will end, which is however that will be. A lot of these are the older guys. The only guys that are not old here, I mean, I guess Embiid's sort of old, but I don't know how much Embiid is doing anymore. But I think after looking at it, Embiid will be in the Hall of Fame. Shea, Luka, Tatum, right? All guys I think they're like 26, all of them. Maybe 27 for like Tatum or Shea. I don't know. Right, Shea did an MVP, Finals MVP, scoring champ. He's averaged 30 in 3 straight seasons. Like with the way he's on, if he retired today, he's probably a Hall of Famer, honestly. There are players there with less, and I know I've said that a lot, but whatever. Luka, it's not just the NBA Hall of Fame. It is the Basketball Hall of Fame, but Luka's career as a whole, even though he's probably accomplished the least out of all those 3 players, he will be in there. And same Tatum. I mean, doesn't have an MVP just like Luka, but 4 straight All NBA first teams. He has a ring. He was not the Finals MVP, of course. He's gotten he has a bunch of like records, like 27 and below, doing whatever, a bunch of playoff wins, whatever. So that's why those guys are there. Rudy Gobert, 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's got to be there, guys. I hate to tell you. And then those bottom 4 of DeRozan, Butler, George, and Drew, I think all will be as well. Those were the hardest ones for me in that category. And then no doubt, we talked about that. Those are like there's no way if anybody in the comments says that any of those guys are not making the Hall of Fame, I might block you from my channel. I'm not gonna lie. Some other guys that weren't on this list that I was thinking of, Kyle Lowry, probably is going to be a Hall of Famer. CJ McCollum, I think Hall of Very Good type guy. Similar boat of Jamal Murray type player. Al Horford, I probably will be he's got the ring, he's got a bunch of college stuff, long career like Kyle Lowry. He probably would be too. If not, then Hall of Very good. And then Klay Thompson will be a Hall of Famer as well. But those are the guys that I could think that weren't on this list. But yeah, this is take a screenshot, do whatever you need. This is my list. I am claiming this. I'm posting it on all my social medias and everything. Let me know what you guys think. Remember to like and subscribe. Again, comment what you think. I'm a listen. Just because you and me disagree on some, just because whatever, doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean you're right necessarily. It's just talking about sports. We all got different opinions, but let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe to this channel and my gaming channel and all my socials, which will be in the description.